Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Science with Dani, where you learn the knowledge and skills needed to help you in primary science. Alright, so for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Dani Dawood, and I am the teacher and content creator here at Science with Dani. Alright, and my job or my duty or what I'm trying to do is to help you to make learning primary science to become simple. Okay, so if you are a parent or a student and you want to improve in your science learning journey, all right, all you have to do right now is to click on the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you would not miss any of our future videos where we learn how to make primary science simple. Okay, so today in this question deep dive, we have a question that is from the topic photosynthesis. All right, and photosynthesis is from the theme energy of the upper block. All right, so let's not waste any time. Let us just straight away dive into the question. All right, good. Right, this question here, it reads, Eric placed 3 pots of the same type of plants in a well-lit area and watered them daily. So from here, what is important? Firstly, we know that there are 3 pots of the same type of plants and they are placed in a well-lit area as well as they are being watered daily. Okay, so what's the significance here? If we take a look, same type of plants, all right, so that means this makes it becomes fair, all right, as well as in a well-lit area. So this means there is presence of light. All right, let's bring this down a bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then watered them daily, so that means there is presence of water. Okay, so there is no change in the number of leaves throughout the experiment. So there is no change in the number of leaves throughout the experiment. Right, when we are looking at the leaves, what is the significance of the leaves in terms of photosynthesis? One thing about the leaves is that this tells you about the amount of chlorophyll. Okay, and if we take a look here, first we were talking about light, and then we were talking about water, and then we were talking about chlorophyll. This is 3 out of the 4 components that are needed for photosynthesis to take place. The other component would be carbon dioxide. Okay, so let's take a look at the picture here. All right, we have got 3 plants here, A, B, and C. Okay, and if we take a look at the 3 plants, you will notice that plant A, all right, we have got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leaves. Plant B has got like 4 leaves, and plant C has got that one single lonely leaf. All right, so there's only 1 leaf here. Okay, so here we can see chlorophyll is found in the leaves. Okay, so the lesser the number of leaves, that means the lesser the amount of chlorophyll. And the job of chlorophyll is to absorb light energy to make photosynthesis happen. All right, so our change variable in this case is the number of leaves. Okay, all right, so now let's take a look at what else they are telling us. Now, after 2 weeks, he measured the mass of the fruit. So he measured the mass of the fruit in each setup, and the results are shown in the table below. So let's take a look. Plant A, all right, number of leaves 6, and then start of experiment, the mass of the fruit was 8 grams, but at the end of the experiment, it was 15 grams. So we can see from 8 grams to 15 grams, there's an increase of 7 grams. And then for B, with 4 leaves, start of experiment is the same, 8 grams for the fruit. alright, 8 grams, and then it went up to 11 grams. So that means there's an increase of 3 grams, okay? And then for C, alright, plant C, the number of leaves, only 1. At the start of experiment, there were 8 leaves, and then at the, 8 grams, alright, the mass of the fruit, 8 grams, and at the end of the experiment, it went up to 9 grams. So that means there's an increase of 1 gram here, alright? So, if we take a look at this, we will realize that, oh, okay, the number of leaves, alright, so you will notice that 6, 4, and 1, alright? So here it is being arranged in a decreasing order, alright? And then the mass of the fruit, you will notice that at the end of the experiment, alright, the increment is also in a decreasing order. Okay, alright, so that is the table. So always remember, whenever you have a table, it is important information that you need to extract from there. You know, look at the relationship, look at what is happening. Try to tell yourself, okay, why is the result like that? Now, let's move on. Question A. Question A. What is the relationship between the number of leaves and the mass of fruit? Okay, so in this case, let's write down, all right, what is this relationship? Okay, so we have seen that the number of leaves, they were decreasing, am I correct? And then the mass of the fruit, it was also decreasing. Okay, so the relationship here would be, all right, as the number of leaves decreases, comma, okay, the mass of fruit, all right, and what our arrow here says is that it says that it is decreasing as well, so decreases. All right, good. So now, oh, I think this is not supposed to be 2 marks. This question is supposed to be 1 mark. Okay, all right, because it is just a straightforward, simple relationship. Now, this question here, this is where I call it as a relationship question. All right, and a relationship question has a template. Okay, if I take a look at my answer here, you will notice the number of leaves, all right, as well as the mass of fruit. These two variables, they are very, very clearly, all right, your change variable as well as your measured variable. Okay, so the number of leaves, this is your change variable, correct? And then the mass of the fruit, this is your measured variable. All right, sometimes I call it as recorded variable as well. Okay, so if I look at this, you will notice that there is a template here. All right, firstly, you start with the word as, and then you'll just copy this down. This is the same as what has been given. And then the decreases or increases, in this case, if you look at this part, the decreases and increases, all right, the trend, you actually can get it from the table itself. Yeah, or if not, you can actually use the graph if they give you a graph. Okay, and then the mass of fruit, again, this is from the question, right? And again, the trend, all right, you get it from the table here. We have already seen this at the very beginning. We have already talked about this at the beginning. Okay, so this relationship question is in fact a very, very straightforward question that is very easy for you to score your mark. All right, now let's move on to B. Right, B. Explain why. Explain why. Okay, the mass of the fruit from plant A is different from plant C at the end of the experiment. So here, this question clearly tells you I'm only interested in mass of fruit from plant A, all right, and plant C. Why are they different? Okay, so let's take a look. If I want to see the difference in terms of, or the reason why the fruits are different, here I will look at the change variable. All right, so we already have established that the change variable here is the number of leaves, and the number of leaves control the amount of chlorophyll, and chlorophyll then will be one of the component that will control the rate of photosynthesis. Okay, and we know photosynthesis makes food. Excess food will be stored as starch. All right, and the fruit is one of the location where this starch is being stored. So the higher the rate of photosynthesis, the more food is being made, the more starch we have, the bigger the fruit is going to be. All right, okay, so how am I going to answer this? Okay, firstly, what I am going to do is that I am going to write in what is very, very obvious, which is the change variable. So in this case, I'm going to write about the number of leaves. So the number of leaves, all right, on plant, okay, which plant? Plant A, all right, is more than, all right, the leaves on plant C. Okay, all right, full stop. So this is what I can see in the diagram. This is what I call as the evidence. All right, the evidence. And then what does this mean? It means that, all right, with more leaves, okay, with more leaves, all right, comma, the rate of photosynthesis, okay, in plant A is faster, all right, than plant B. Okay, all right, so what happens when the rate is faster? All right, so glucose is made much faster in plant A. Full stop. All right, now you have already given the evidence, you have already given, you know, the reason why this evidence, all right, lead to your result. And then finally we are going to say, so why does this make the fruit grow bigger? Hence, comma, with more glucose converted to starch, all right, and stored in the fruit, comma, the mass of the fruit will be more at the end of the experiment. Done. Okay, all right, so there is a pattern or a form to your answer where one, all right, part of the answer will lead to the next part and then will lead to the next part. All right, good. So if we take a look at this question here, all right, what are the concepts that we need to know here? Firstly, you will notice that this question is testing you to see whether you know that chlorophyll is needed for photosynthesis. All right, and it is about the amount of chlorophyll. More chlorophyll, there's going to be a faster rate of photosynthesis. Okay, and then the second thing that you need to know here is that the excess food that is being made is being converted to starch. All right, and starch is being stored, all right, in different location in a plant. Okay, so all right, hopefully, okay, that would have already helped you in your, in understanding how to answer a question that deals with how chlorophyll affect, all right, photosynthesis. Okay, I hope that is something that you have really learned and it has been very useful. And if you think that, all right, this is something that is useful for someone else, will benefit them, why don't you share the video? And at the same time, don't forget, click the subscribe button. Also, we have got some other amazing videos for you to watch. Okay, all right, so this is Science with Dani. I am Dani, all right, saying goodbye. Bye bye.